Hey, remarkable you. Have you ever increased your business leads by 20% only to watch your revenue actually drop? Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what happened to my client Ashley, and her story might surprise you. If you're a business owner or a side gig entrepreneur looking to create massive results by focusing on just a few key drivers, this video is for you. I'm Amir, and for over 30 years, I've had the privilege of helping more than 1,000 individuals and businesses achieve remarkable growth. So let's dive into this story. Picture this. Ashley owned a beautiful high-end chocolate store, creating some of the most amazing handcrafted chocolates you can imagine. Ashley was so excited when we first met. Amir, she told me, beaming with pride, we've increased our leads by 20% through paid ads, organic posting, everything the experts told us to do. But then her voice dropped. Instead of celebration, I could hear frustration. Our revenue, it's actually going down, she told me. And these marketing costs, they're eating up our profits. What are we going to do? I've seen the same story plays out so many times. Business owners pour their heart, soul, and mainly money into getting more leads only to watch the revenue slip away. But it doesn't need to be that way. That's when I shared with Ashley the same formula that had transformed so many of my clients' businesses. Years ago, I came across something that completely changed my perspective on business growth. At first, I thought, oh great, another business formula. But this one was different. It actually explained exactly why getting more leads sometimes leads to less revenue, and more importantly, how to fix it. Let me share it with you. On the surface, it looks straightforward. Leads times conversion rate equals customers. Customers times average transaction times number of transactions equal revenue. Simple, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Let's break it down. Leads, these are your prospects. Think about your business. For Ashley's store, it was everyone walking by her store. For you, it might be website visitors, people calling you about your services, or potential clients checking out your work. Conversion rate, this is where the first aha moment usually happens. It's not just about getting people to notice you. It's about turning them into paying customers. And let's be honest here. If they're not paying, they might be your biggest fans or loyal followers, but they're certainly not your customers. Here's where most business owners stop. But there are two more pieces to this puzzle that can completely transform your revenue. Average transaction. This is simply how much money a customer spends each time they buy from you. Think about it like this. When you get coffee, you might spend $5, but when you buy a new phone, it's $800. Understanding your numbers help you see opportunities to increase value for your customers. And number of transactions, this is how many times your customers come back to buy from you in any given year. For example, your favorite coffee shop might see their loyal customers 100 times a year, while a car dealership might see their best customers only once every few years. Here's what makes it so powerful. Studies consistently shows that getting an existing customer to buy again is far way less expensive than finding a new one. These two last drivers are really important because they help you get more value from the customer you already have instead of always chasing new ones. Now, let's see how all four drivers work together for Ashley and her chocolate store. When we first sat down to look at her numbers, here's what we found. Her store had 10,000 leads per year. These are people that were walking by her store, drawn by the amazing aroma of fresh chocolate. With a 10% conversion rate, that meant that 1,000 of these people actually came in and became paying customers. Each customer spent about $60 per visit on her store delicious products. And believe me, they were worth every penny. And they came back 8 times a year. When we plug these numbers into our formula, 1,000 customers times $60 per visit times 8 visits equal to $480,000 in yearly revenue. Then came what she thought was her brilliant marketing sprint. Here's what actually happened. Yes, her leads went up by 20% to 12,000 leads. Sounds impressive. But here's where things got interesting or really painful. The new leads weren't as engaged. Maybe they weren't really chocolate lovers like her original customers. Her conversion rate dropped to 9%. And as she saw more people walking by the store but not getting in, she really got nervous and lowered her prices by 10% to $54 per visit, hoping to attract more sales. These new customers also visited less often, only 7 times a year instead of 8. Let's run the numbers again. 1,080 customers times $54 per visit times 7 visits equal to about $419,000. I can still remember Ashley's face when we calculated these numbers together. Despite getting 2,000 more leads, she had actually lost over $60,000 in revenue. You see, focusing only on leads while ignoring the other 3 drivers of the formula was actually hurting her business. When Ashley saw these numbers, she looked at me and asked, "If I work with you, what can we do differently?" I explained that we need to make the formula work for her instead of against her. Instead of just focusing on leads, I said, let's work on increasing each revenue driver by 20%. She looked skeptical. So we'll increase our revenue by 20% from $480K to $576,000? I couldn't help by smiling. Actually, something much more magical is about to happen. Let me show you how. First, we worked smarter on leads. Instead of just throwing money on keywords and ads, we identified our ideal customers who really loves her chocolate, her artisanal chocolate. Then we understood what made her store unique, what was her special magic, and we created a message that attracted true chocolate lovers. The result? Not only did we get 20% more leads, but these leads were much more engaged, real chocolate lovers, which boosted our conversion rate by 20% too. Let's look at how these improvements change our formula. Ashley leads again increased by 20% from 10,000 to 12,000, but our conversion rate also went up by 20% from 10% to 12%. Just these 2 changes took us from 1,000 customers to 1,440 customers. Notice something, we didn't just get 20% more customers, we got 44% more. That's the formula starting to work its magic. Amazing. But we didn't stop there. We continued to improve the next 2 revenue drivers. So we worked on increasing the transaction value by creating premium packaging options. We were introducing higher end items and we adjusted the prices after researching similar markets. This increased our average transaction by 20% from $60 on average to $72. For the final part, we focused on getting customers to visit more often, and we did it by introducing special event days, chocolate and book clubs, and members-only experiences. I still remember during our first member-only event, Ashley pulled me aside and said, "Look at this." She smiled, watching her loyal customer chat and share her favorite chocolates. And she said, they're becoming a community. Wow. This boosted our yearly visits by 20% from 8 to about 9.6 visits per year. Now let me ask you, if we increased each driver by about 20%, what do you think happened to the total revenue? When we plug the final numbers into our formula, this is what we got. 1,440 customers times $72 per visit times 9.6 visits. Wow, $995,000 revenue. That's not just 20% increase, that's 107% increase. More than double her original revenue of $480,000. I wish you could see Ashley's face. She went from disbelief to pure joy. Wait, that can't be right, she said, double checking the numbers. We more than doubled our revenue from $480,000 to nearly $1 million? When it sank in that this 107% increase was real, she couldn't stop smiling. This is the magic of working on all 4 revenue drivers together. Just like Ashley, you might be wondering if these kind of results are really possible for your own business. I still remember her words after we achieved these results. She said, "I never thought such a simple formula could change everything. That's why I'm so excited about sharing this with you now." Take a moment and imagine your own transformation story. What would doubling your revenue mean to you? What would it mean to your team and for your family? Ashley started exactly where you are now, frustrated but ready for a change. And I've seen this formula transform businesses time and time again, and I'd love to help you do the same. If you want to learn the specific tactics to increase each of these revenue drivers, let's work together. Sign up for my business coaching introductory session using the link below, and let's reset and transform your own business. For those of you thinking even bigger, let me show you what's possible when we push this formula even further. Let me share what happened with another client. They are a passionate restaurant partners who saw these results and said, "Amir, we want to go bigger, much bigger." When we first met, their number looked like this. They had 20,000 people walking by their restaurants yearly. 30% of them, or 6,000, became clients, became customers, paying customers. They spent $50 on any average visit, and they visited about 6 times per year. Their total revenue was $1.8 million. Over the next 2 years, we didn't just work the formula, we transformed every aspect of their business. We increased each revenue driver by about 40%. Yeah, bigger. When I told them about our target, they thought I was dreaming too big. 40% on everything? Is that even possible? Want to guess what happened to their revenue? No. It didn't just go up by 40% from 1.8 million to 2.5 million in revenue, like they initially expected. Let's plug in what actually happened. Their leads increased to 28,000, 40% up. Their conversion rate 42%. That led to 11,760 customers. Their average spend per visit was $70, again 40% up. And each customer visited 8.4 times per year. Their final revenue was 6.9 million. You have to admit, this is remarkable. Wow, 284% increase. Here's what excites me the most. You can do it too. This is not just for them. Whether you're running a small business or building your side gig, this formula can transform your journey. Start using it today. And if you want a guide on this path of growth, check out the link below. Together, we can turn your business dreams into reality. Thank you for investing your time in yourself and in your business. And if you want more insights and practical strategies about transforming your mindset, business, and life, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until the next time, remember, you have the power to create something truly remarkable. Keep pushing forward, keep growing, and most importantly, keep believing in your vision. May you have a remarkable life.